Good morning, 7th grade pre-algebra. Peppa, you are always trying to hog the front space. You can't be there today. Good morning, it's Monday. Peppa just likes to be in the limelight. Hey, today we're going to do area of parallelograms, triangles, and trapezoids. And do a little review of what we did from last week. They asked you to find interior angles of like decagons and octagons and things like that. So I just picked, for an example for you to help you out to remember, a regular 12-gon. So a regular 12-gon, you could draw 10 triangles in it. Remember that it's always 2 less than how many sides there are. So you just take 12, subtract 2, and that will give you the number 10. 10 times 180, that's how many degrees in every triangle, give you 1800 degrees. Then you take your 1800 and you divide it by how many angles are in it. Not by triangles, angles. And so these two numbers never match. This number is always too bigger than that one. So 1800 divided by 12 gives me 150 degrees, and that's how big each interior angle is inside a 12-gon. And the more sides it has, the bigger these angles get. Okay, so today we're going to look at the new stuff. This is a parallelogram because the sides are parallel, opposite sides. And right here, very important through all this stuff, when you do an area, always look for the right angle first. Okay, so here is my right angle. That's what I want to find first. You don't circle it. You can do it in your book, but do it with pencil very lightly. And so for a parallelogram, the formula is base times height. And that's always true for parallelograms. And your base is 20, and your height is 8. We don't use the 9, because the 9 is not next to the right angle. It's not the straight up and down height. And 20 times 8 is 160, and then it's inches squared. It's important to put your unit on for those. Remember that when we're doing all of these, area is counting squares. So the 160 means that if I cut this up into squares, all the way across, and all the way like this, and then I counted all those squares up, even the triangles and add them together, I would get 160 inches squared. It just takes an awful long time this way. This is much easier. So the formula for a parallelogram is base times height. I start that out when you do parallelogram. That'll make it easier for you to have that memorized. Now triangles are a little different. Triangles, first of all, I'm going to look for this. There's my right angle, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to erase the 7, I'm going to erase the 6. I don't need them. I just need the 12 and the 5 because they meet at the right angle. So for a triangle, it is base times height divided by 2. And that's because every single triangle is exactly half of a rectangle or a parallelogram. So there's your formula, b times h divided by 2. When it's a triangle, boy, is that easy to forget. Don't forget to divide by 2. So right here, I'm just going to go 12 is the base, 5 is the height, comes straight up from the right angle, and divide by 2. And 60 divided by 2 would give me 30 centimeters squared. Now this triangle is kind of a strange one. They want the area of this part right in here. And so there's my right angle. So 7's my height. 3 is not actually part of the triangle. So because that's for this empty space, so I'm going to erase the 3. Don't need it. I just need the 7 and 10. So a triangle is base times height divided by 2, which equals 7 times 10 divided by 2, which equals 35. Now I didn't give a unit, so it would be 35 squares, because again, we are counting squares every time we do this. So there's your formula for a parallelogram. A triangle is base times height over 2. And the last thing you need to know is for a trapezoid. Now a trapezoid, again, I'm going to look for my right angle, and there it is. So I see the 7 and 6 don't have anything to do with that right angle, so I'm going to get rid of those. I don't need those for the area. Now, a trapezoid is kind of strange in that it has 2 bases, base 1 and base 2. This 20 is called base 1, and the 10 is called base 2. You see they're parallel to each other. That's how you can tell the base, even when they turn. So base 1 is 20, so I'm going to put a 20 here. Base 2 is 10, I'm going to put a 10 here, times h. Well, h is from the right angle straight up and down. It's your dotted line almost every single time. And be times 8. And then we have to divide all of this by 2. Now in your calculator, you got to hit 20 plus 10 and hit enter before you do anything else because of those parentheses. So this would be 30 times 8 is 240 divided by 2. That would give us 120, and then my unit is centimeters squared. That would be the area for that one. So anyways, your work today, your assignment is page 548. I think it goes on 549. Do 1 through 19, and you only need to do odds on that page. Please check your answers in the back of the book. Most of you did very well in the quiz from last week, and so I'm very proud of you for that. And you also need to do, you also need to do, Kaylee, page 550, 36 through 41 all. And show your work on both of those. This is review, and this is the new stuff that I just taught you here. I hope you have a great Monday. Goodbye.